Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 3, 3 weeks in a row. That's Bebop. That is my confused puppy. Hey babe, what do you need? Need anything? No? He's confused. He's always confused now. Although his pills are working. Although his heart murmur's getting worse, so we may need to put him on heart meds. However, that is not the way I intended to start this episode. So let's go back and start again. Right. This is episode 3. I've got my non-name brand water. I miss caffeine. So what have I been up to? Well, I've been up to a lot actually, but then again, it doesn't feel like a lot because that is just how I feel. It should feel like a lot more given that I have so much progress to report. It just doesn't feel like a lot to me. I don't know. Overachiever much? Yes. Sometimes I really am, and I probably need to work on that. I do have a finished object. Shall we start off with the finished object? Usually I don't, but I have one. Now, lately I've been able to show you more than one because I've been digging up some past finished objects. Oh, strap. There we go. There's Beetle. Hi, Bug. My little arthritic bug. She may come over here and start crying at me because she likes attention. She's an attention whore. Although she could jump on the bed and just ignore me. So I have one finished object. And that would be the lily I was working on last week. Maybe if I haven't woven in the ends, I have not blocked it. So, as you can see, I thought it would be bigger. I really did. But I have a decorative dicky. So you can put your head through the hole and like wear it jauntily, like this. Or maybe, do I have it on the right way? Yes, I do. Okay. Or maybe like this. See, Martina Bem puts it on like this in her pattern, and it's like, you know, hanging off her shoulders. I put it on and it looks like I'm ready to have something very messy. Perhaps some sort of seafood. I like it, but I don't. Hi, Beetle. Hold on a sec. Come here. I'm not sure if you can hear her mewing, but that is definitely a Beetle mew. She sounds like the Tom Waits of cats. Okay, so you stay here. Okay? Okay? Oh, are your allergies acting up? Her eyes get runny when her allergies act up. It's kind of disgusting. But she's what, 18? 18 years old? She gets to do... They're old enough at this point that they run the house. But anywho, my decorative dicky. That's what this is. It's a decorative dicky. It's like sitting, but you can do it in like cute little ways. Like you can like wrap it. You can wrap it the other way. Like, I mean, there are a lot of decorative ways to wear this, right? Like, you don't have to use the hole. You can just wrap it around you and completely mess up what little hairstyle I do have. I know it's going to grow when I block it. Not enough that it won't be a decorative dicky, but enough that it should be able to, I don't know. I like it. I liked knitting it. I had fun. I had enough yarn because I planned it and because the pattern was well written enough that I could, you know, it's like knit until you have half your yarn here. So regardless of if you're using the called for 437 yards or not, if you get gauge, it doesn't really matter because she tells you if you're in the middle of your yarn, stop here. So you could actually just weigh it and go from there. Now, I really like it. I think if I did it in a worsted weight, maybe even, I don't know, maybe a sport. For me, it'd probably have to be worsted or Aran. But if you did it in a bigger yarn, you know, you wouldn't have the decorative dicky. But I mean, I really like it. I love the colors, by the way. Like, this is fiber optic in the paint box sock, or the paint box and the cashmere sock, which is an MCN. It's very soft. It's fun to play with. It's gorgeous colors. I prefer the fig portion, but they're gorgeous. So, all in all, I'm happy with it. I mean, I knew going in on this one that it would probably come out smaller on me because the Viagente problem, or Viagente, or however you say it, that problem that was indicative for many people who do the lace weight who are larger was that it wasn't big enough. And then they went to the Sport or to the Worsted or DK, and all of a sudden it worked, right? So I knew going in that Martina Bem is a tiny person. However, you can do hacks and things, so I don't know. It was a good knit. It was a fun knit. Maybe I'll gift it to someone who's smaller than me who it won't look like a dickie on. Just thought. There's a cat purring in my lap. I can't. There's no way I can raise her so you can see it, but she's just like, purr. You might get an ear. No. I could move you down. No, I won't. You might be motion sick. Either way, I find it funny that I'm just navigating over top of her and there's yarn on her head and she doesn't care. She's just purring away. I also have to kind of keep note of the time because I do have to go pick up the husband after he's off his shift. I hate duty days, FYI. There's like, all 5 of you military people will understand duty days. Or at least I assume the 5 military families will understand. I friggin' hate them. Mostly because I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning to take him to work. And then he's gone for, 24 hours, and that sucks. Whine, bitch, moan, whine. I know. I'm a crappy Navy wife, okay? Although I am wearing a giant anchor on my shirt today, so I should get props for that. Now, into the works in progress. Because I finished something, I could cast something on. You know how that goes. I'm not showing you the baby blanket this week. I did work on it, but I only got like 1 color done, so I'm not bringing that monstrosity from the living room over here to the spare room. Yeah, go away. A little pop-up, sorry. Just to show you 1 ridge, okay? I'll show it to you next week. Hopefully I will be done that quarter. I just could not bring myself to work on it very much this week. Oh well. So, what have I worked on this week? In the Pam bag. The Pam bag, that's what it will be called. In the, String Along Fiber Arts bag? Is that what it... I believe that's what it is. I put a link. You can go look at the link. I've been working on the Collie Wobbles by Emily Estrada. Seriously, go away. It'll pop up. It's telling me something and I don't care. So I finished the first one. And done the cool heel that I've never done where you decrease the gusset on the bottom. So that one was done last week. This week I have been off and on it. Frog in throat. Phlegm. I haven't adjusted to the various ephemera of the area. So there's my so far. I am on the heel flap. Heel flap has been started. There's the back side. There's no patterning on the back side. This yarn is the 3 Irish Girls Adorn sock in the Burn colorway. So far so good. I believe this is 100% superwash merino, in which case it's not going to have a lot of sproing. But so it goes. So it goes. I do like a bit of nylon, but I'm not a stickler. I can go. I don't need. It's not. Can I finish the sentence? It's not 100% mandatory that it contains nylon. I really am okay with it being superwash merino by itself. I do, however, not do a lot of cashmere in my socks because they pill a lot worse, and that sucks. And it's cashmere. I feel weird putting cashmere on my feet. I do occasionally, but I feel weird about it. So there's that. Heel flap. I'd like to be done these. These are pair, what did I say, 11? They're 11 or 12. I'm on 11 and 12. I think these are 11 of 15 pairs in 2015. So, are you okay, Bob? He's got a bit of a cough. Which the vet did notice, so it's not like he's got kennel cough or parvo or anything. It's just it's a subsidiary of his heart murmur and his heart getting worse. Are you okay, Bubby? You okay? Okay. The other work in progress I worked on in my baddie bag from Seashore Sharon, who is adorable, is my Desert Vista Dye Works, my Dia de los Muertos colorway. He may have eaten his bully curl a little too fast. There's one side, here's the other. I'm magic looping on US 1 2.25 millimeter needles. I think that's what I'm using for the other one too, just in case. I know it's in my RAV page. Yeah, it's US 1s. I usually use US 1s. If it's a 64 stitch sock, then I know I need to use US 1s because that's just how my foot works. However, I do apologize for my dog. Baby, are you okay? I would be a helicopter mom. I know I would because that's how I am with my pets. Okay, so if it's a 64 stitch sock, I'm going to use a US 1.5. That's just, it fits my foot. However, for the hubby, he does like the 72 or 74 on a 0. But just because he likes it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I don't like knitting on 0s. I can, but I have noticed that his knit socks are depleted currently, so I may throw a pair or two in for him in the works. I do believe I have a ball of, is it Lollipop? I got it from a lovely viewer, and it's in the Mocha Java or something like that colorway. It's browns and blacks, and it was gifted to me to make socks for the hubby, and I think that would be really good to throw on the needles when I'm done these. I don't know if that'll happen, but that will come in a bit. Why it may not happen, because you'll see why. But I do need to knit him a pair of socks. I do have... I have a couple of patterns that are very unisex. So, before I put this back, I was in the middle of the green row. So, I am almost one color repeat down. And I can't say enough about Susan. This is the, where is it? Viso base, which is a 75-25 superwash merino nylon, which is her standard. It is gorgeous. The saturation is awesome. The stripes are awesome. Usually I make a 7 or 7.5 inch foot or cuff because that's normally what I like, but I think I'm going to go 8 or 8.5 just because I love this colorway so much. Just so as you know, I'm going to add some inches because I love it. Because I love it, and it's Halloweeny, and Halloween is coming, and apparently I needed to make a dumb voice with a dumb face, like a duck. Okay, so that was the second work in progress, which is kind of like my brainless go-to knitting. Everybody's got brainless go-to knitting. You're putting my foot to sleep, Beetle. I love you, but you're making my foot fall asleep. I go to open it. See, if you're my friend, or if you've ever been to my home, which there are very few people who have because I'm a very private person, interiorly, I will go out and meet anyone, but very few people have been to my house. Very few. Even when I lived in Regina, where my family lived, my family never came over, and I never invited them in. Not at all. Because it's my sanctum. It's my sanctuary, and I'm very, very, very private about that. But for those who have been, or who know me very well, Frank, the baby cat, who's 17, but she's the baby, loves water in receptacles. So you cannot leave water out and about. That's just not done. It will instantaneously be tipped over. Possibly on your head as you sleep, possibly on electronics. She's relatively indifferent to how she gets her paw or her face in your glass or on your cup, but she will tip it. Which is fine. I mean, everybody's got their foibles. And, I've watched the millions of YouTubes with cats knocking things off of places. She's not a knocker, though. She, sticks her hand in and then pulls it down so she can lick it. She likes to drink water from receptacles. Or she'll just stick her head in, if it's a wide enough glass. So, to combat this, I, as a human, have been trained to drink out of bottles. And I'm either going to drink out of a bottle or I'm going to drink out of my water bottle, which I keep around. Here we're on well water, which is kind of sketchy, and depending on if there's been a rainstorm, it gets sketchier. So we generally buy the really big things of water, the giant refillable tubs, and then we just use our water bottles. But I was lazy, so I picked up a 24-pack of these. And I know I'm killing the environment, and I feel bad as a hippie. There's a lot of internal strife over this, okay? But whatever. I haven't been feeling 100%. Just give me a pass that I didn't want to carry the giant bottles of water, okay? Okay. Here's my polite society, raise your thing. Now, because I finished the Lely, oh God, she made my foot fall asleep so bad. Oh. How much do you weigh? 18 pounds? 18 pounds. Because I finished the Lely, I wanted to start something else, and I have been on a quest, right? I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I've been on a quest for a friggin' poncho. I don't know why. Large ladies, we shouldn't be in ponchos because we look not that great. But I just want a poncho, right? I want something I can throw over me so I can go out and get my business done and then come home and, pull it off. And I don't even know why I want one. It may be an irrational thing for me to want a poncho. I really want one. I don't care that they're in style and that I see them everywhere. I see those decorative wraps that look like a giant friggin' shawl with a hole cut in it. I don't care that I see those and that those are becoming popular. What I want is a poncho. And there's an aesthetic to it, but I'm relatively open to changing the aesthetic. My goal is wash and wear. Okay? I want to be able to throw it on over top of a hoodie. If the hoodie is too thin, like the one I got in Nashville at Third Man Records, that one's a thinner fabric, which I understand if you're in Nashville. It gets colder the further north you go. So when I'm wearing it, sometimes I get a little colder. Well, poncho. And then you've got your hands free, and there's a whole assortment of reasons I want a poncho, but I've really been on a quest for a poncho. And the trade winds ponchette just let me down in many ways, and the Lely is not a poncho. Looks like a poncho. Looks like it could be a poncho, but it is in fact a dickie. So the quest, well, I found one, and it's by Nora Gowan. It is called Nomad. And let's see if I can get that. There we go. And it's very pretty. It's Navajo inspired. I don't know how to feel about that. I mean, people are like, how do you not know how to feel about that? Well, there's cultural appropriation and blah, 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 and how, Indians have been commodified by the current cultural society and why headdresses shouldn't be worn at music festivals and yimmer, yimmer, fart up a tree. But at the end of the day, I just really like the poncho. Like, I will reappropriate this culturally on behalf of my people. Although I'm not Navajo. I will do it for the Navajo on behalf of the Cree people. That's right. And everybody's just... Very few of you are like, oh, what the frig is cultural appropriate? What is she talking about? Sorry, I get dehydrated really easy. Which means lots of water is important. So I was like, yes, this is the poncho. And Nora Gowan is a big lady, and she designs things for big ladies. She shows them on small people, but they work across the board, which I really like. I've knit one other thing by her. I have a lot of her patterns. I really should knit more by Nora Gowan. No, I've knit 2 other things by her, I think. 2 other things from the Knitting Nature book, I believe. Don't quote me. So I went to the yarn stash, which was the other benefit here. Because, hey, if you can pick a pattern and then you can stash dive for it, then you don't have to spend, like, more than the pattern, right? And then you feel good about yourself. Or at least I do, because I have a lot of yarn. And, well, I'm not about to go cold sheeping, which I may. I may cold sheep and prep for SSK in 2016, but right now I'm not. I went through my... Well, first I went through my Rav stash to see what I had, and this one popped up and I was like, yes, I remember this. So this is Elizabeth Lavold's favorite wool, and it's good. There we go. It's a worsted. This calls for worsted. 100% Peruvian wool, color 007 oxblood, blah 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 blah. I got this at Knitter's Palette before it closed. I have 16 skeins, and I think I'll only need like 15. So I cast on, and it's an interesting construction in that you do the back, cast on half the up, and then the other half, and then you knit them together. And you do a similar thing for the front, and then there's like some joining stuff. I'm not going to give it all away. It is a paid for pattern. It's part of the Brooklyn Tweed Wool People 15 or something like that. However, you can buy it as an individual pattern. It's just kind of interesting, and then all the texture and stuff is done with knit purl. So it's all done in relief, and I really like that. So here is my progress so far. I've gotten through the first chart. Now you'll have to excuse me, it's not on the biggest needle. It will stretch out considerably once I take it off the needle. I'm doing the second largest size based off of the sizing schematics and what she says to do, because I'm gonna trust her. She hasn't steered me wrong yet, and I've knit 3 things of hers, I believe. So, if she hasn't steered me wrong, why wouldn't I? So you've got the X's and the boxes, and then this decorative panel here. So it's going to be like this on the back. This is the back. I know, lovely double chin shot here for you. But as you can see, so the X's are in the relief with the boxes and this cute little pearly ridge. So I have gotten a bit on it. It's relatively easy, and I've been enjoying it. I enjoy Nora Gowan, and I really want a friggin' poncho. And I have this yarn stash. Here it is, Oxblood. It's not showing up as true as it could. It is kind of a reddy brown. Or maybe a browny red. It's really, like, that's probably true to color. It's a very deep browny red. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. I just got through chart A. I go into chart B soon. I've got it in my bag from Renee, who is one of the lovely knitting ladies of Minnesota, whom I miss. So I am using it, and it's poncho sized. So... Beetlebug, I know you really like my... She purrs so that I don't make her go down. She's like, oh wait, she's moving me. Crap. That's her plot. That is her nefarious plot. So, started on that. That's going through good. I've got my 2 socks, and again, between Karen and Bev, Palette PC, it's a wonder I didn't pick up the cross stitch sooner, but I did. So here's my progress on the cross stitch. As you can see, I have gotten the most of the house on the one side done. The wolf is done. I did some of this here, and I started on the castle up here. March is going a lot faster, and I think I echo the sentiment that when it's a full scene, it's a lot easier because you've got bigger swaths. I remember this one took me for bloody ever to do. And I've got, like, you can see here, it's also got 2014 already on it, so that's not going to change, but it's going to be funny when I finish it in 2016. But I did the entire border on the two on the one side, but I did not do the border on the side I'm currently working on. So I'm gonna work the border as I go down, because that's just how I roll. I think I was waiting for the next one to come out, and then I just completely tanked myself. I don't remember why, but I just gave up. So we're back to it. I think it's because I started a different one. And I need to get back to that one too, but we'll do one thing at a time here. I am only one human being with 2 arms. So March is undergoing. Be nice if I could finish it by the end of October. Here's March at the end of October, and then I'll probably do April, May, June. I'm probably going to go very systematically through this because I can. Because I can do whatever I want, and so yeah, I'm enjoying it. I like when there's a lot of the same color in one spot. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not into fiddly crap. If you haven't noticed, I don't like making monsters because there's way too many ends to weave in. I don't like doing a lot of end weaving in, and like, so Fair Isle, unless I can roll it up, I don't like doing it. I am not big on end weaving. So why am I doing a 4-color munchkin blanket? Let's not even get into that. I don't like fiddly crap. So the fiddlier the portion, the more dedicated I have to become, and that is just not my style. But it is worth it because it's really friggin' cute. Like, I really like February. I think it's very cute. I just don't have the desire to, like, be like, yes, this is the stuff I like doing, because it's not. Okay, go down. I think you farted on me. You has a smell. Or it could be Bebop. Bebop could be farting. He could be gassy. Right. So now we're into the miscellaneous. I still have a friggin' headache. Why do I have a headache? I've had it for 3 days. It's awesome. Into the miscellaneous. So everybody knows the Ravelry group, Yarnivorous. You can go join it there, and that's pretty awesome. I was thinking, since the reception that I've gotten on the boards is that people are really into the brioche hat, but they're kind of afraid of it. So I was thinking, why don't we have a brioche along? Because I want to do another hat or 2 for my nieces for Christmas. And there's some other there's another shawl called Brioche-alicious that I kind of want to do. So I was thinking, why don't we, through October and maybe in November, do a brioche along? Maybe you should chime in the thread for this particular episode and tell me what you think, because I think that'd be fun. I can round up something for prizes. I'm pretty sure we could have a brioche along. And I could even show you how I brioche. Maybe. Not 100% sure on that, but I could. I could try. But I think it would be cool. And I think it might motivate people to try brioche. It's not scary at all once you get used to it. If you can do a yarn over knit 2 together eyelet lace, you can basically do brioche, because it's like slip one in yarn over, then knit the next with the yarn over from previous. So once you get past the weird words they use, like BRK or whatever, like brioche regular knit or brioche right knit or whatever, once you get past the technical terminology and you realize it's basically like double knitting or like lace knitting or like eyelets, like, see, that's how I mentally went with it. It was like, okay, it's like doing eyelets but without the eyelet part. You just yarn over knit till you get a yarn over knit. So once you get your head around it, it's very easy. So I was thinking of a brioche along maybe in October and November. So if you guys are interested in that, do chime in. And lastly, I wanted to share with you what came in the mail today. Desert Vista Dye Works, the lovely Susan, whom I love, recently celebrated 4 years in the dyeing business. I hope I get to 4 years. You know, like, I hope I'm as awesome as Susan when I hit 4 years. I don't think so, because it's really hard to beat her level of awesomeness. But so she had every colorway she's ever dyed you could get, and there was all kinds of bases, there was all kinds of awesome. So of course I had to order some. So I got 3 skeins. There's going to be crinkling. It came in a bag. I literally like opened my post right before I came on and recorded. And it may not be up until tomorrow, again, because I have to go pick up the hubby. So I got excited. I got the Cosmic Bowling, which I believe is a 5 or 6 stripe on the Viso. And it's neon yumminess. I got the Breakfast Club, which is also on the Viso. I believe this one's a 5. And because it's the Breakfast Club, I had to have it. You got the pink of Andy, you got the blue of Sportos jeans and hoodie and whatnot. The black, I'm sure, is Ali Sheedy's character, my favorite. The red in there is probably John Bender, who is awesome. I like them bad. My husband is not a bad boy, but I do enjoy them in the movies. Go figure. Or at least when I was younger. When I was younger, John Bender was like, you know, like the top. Him and Ducky. Really, any male in a John Hughes movie. So the Breakfast Club. See, this is why I might not start a self-striper for my husband, because I may have to knit one of these immediately. And lastly, Cindy, which is a 4 stripe on the Viso. This is not Viso. Dude. Susan, you messed up. This is on their sparkle base. This is not 75-25. I know, because there's Stellina and it's sparkly and it's a 4 stripe. And it's awesome. And I love it. And so I may have to do one of those once I'm done my Dia de los Muertos. Just saying, they're pretty friggin' awesome. And she dies to order, which is also nice, so you can order it. And you'll get it in like a month. It depends. She was really slammed because of the 4-year anniversary thing. But she usually has a really good turnaround time, and she doesn't stiff you. Like, I've never gotten an excuse out of Susan. She works like a dog. She's not going to say, oh, well, you know, I was backed up or whatever. No, she's gonna give you product, and she's gonna give it to you on time, which is very nice. I really enjoy her, and she's a great person. So that's all I have to tell you for this week. I'm sorry I am not as peppy as per usual. Hopefully I'll be peppier next week. In the meantime, I have shown you everything I've worked on, and hopefully I will have more finished objects to show you, like socks. But it is that time, and I have to go pick up my husband. So, signing off for this week. See you next week. Go to the Rav group, join the Rav boards, and tell me if you want to do a brioche along, because I'm going to start one soon. This weekend is the beginning of October, so tell me.